Hello students, my name is Vishal and I am from Praveen Patil College of Diploma Engineering. Today we are going to start with a new subject which is related to industrial hydraulics and pneumatics. So let's get started with our subject introduction. The subject consists of 70 marks. The subject consists of 70 marks of theory exam. Okay, the theory exam will consist of 70 marks, in which the paper will be divided in sub questions and other form and the specific format which is available on the MSBD website. Then out of these 70 marks, the passing marks which for this subject is 28, and student has to get more than 28 marks to get passed in this subject. Okay, the remaining 30 marks is related to unit test and other form of details like attendance and then microbiology submissions. All these consist of 30 marks in submission. Then talking about practical, so practically is based on 20 marks for end semester exam, which is based on orals and practical examination. This examination is completely external dependent. Okay, the external will conduct the exam. Then further, more 25 marks is related to the internals, which are based on the submission of the assignments and manuals based on the practical data. Okay, so together the practical consists of 50 marks and the theoretical consists of 100 marks. So the overall subject is of 150 marks, which is divided 100 and 150. Okay, then course outcome means what can we learn from this subject. Okay, so the first point which we will learn from the subject is to identify the hydraulics and pneumatic systems and the components which are used in hydraulic and pneumatic systems. Okay, so these are basic things which are going to learn from this subject, followed by the pump and the actuator cylinders. Means we are going to learn about the pumps and what is the pump and what are the actuators, and then how we are going to select them based on their specifications for the use of or for the applications. Then control valves. Okay, selection of control valves, then selection of compressor and other accessories which are based on the pneumatic systems. Then how the development of the hydraulic circuit and the pneumatic circuit, how to make a hydraulic circuit or how to develop a hydraulic circuit, and many other functions which are related to hydraulic and pneumatic systems, which are actually going to use in our industrial experience. Okay, all these things are we are going to learn in this subject. So this is quite of a interesting subject based on industrial experience and also theoretical experience. So we will get to learn a lot of more things. So we'll just need to give an appropriate time to this subject, and we will gain a lot of knowledge from this. Okay, so we will move forward to the first chapter, which is related to introduction to hydraulics and pneumatics. The weightage of this lesson is 8 marks out of 70, but when I am considering what the extra marks which are related to about 100 marks, it will come about 10 marks. Okay, means out of 70 official 70 marks, we will get a weightage of 8 marks for this lesson. The first topic is related to general layout of hydraulic system. So this lesson is basically divided into two parts. One is the hydraulic system and the other is pneumatic system. Hydraulic system is related to the general layout. Okay, means hydraulic. Understand the term hydraulic. Hydraulic is actually a term which is used for the application where we are required most heaviest pressure compared to the pneumatic system. Okay, pneumatic system is going to generate about 10 bar of pressure, maximum 10 bar of pressure. But if I am it is required that I am my application or my processing is required more than 10 bars of pressure, so it is very compulsory to use hydraulic system in that process, because the hydraulic system will can generate up to a pressure of 100 bars, even more than that. but the problem with hydraulic system is that we are going to use an oil or a fluid as a medium over there. Okay, so there are some kind of maintenance cost or any many of the demands are there, which will be going through in our further slides. Then hydraulic system is actually making a different kind of sector when compared to a pneumatic, based on the application and also the concept behind the hydraulics. Okay, hydraulics is related to the fluid. Okay, the fluid is going to make a pressure over here, which is used for the movement of the part, or even the lifting of the part, or creating a pressure. In short, we are going to create a pressure, and that pressure we are going to use in a mechanical work. Okay, mechanical work for lifting machines or getting any kind of a number of jobs. So these are related to the hydraulic system. Okay, so for generating hydraulic pressure, we require a system. This is known as a hydraulic system, and there is general layout of this system which we are going to learn in this slide. So general layout of a hydraulic system is related to the image which is shown in the screen. Over here there is one storage tank followed by a filter, then protective valve, pump, control valves, actuators, and a return oil line. Okay, I will explain one by one the complete details about the accessories or the attached parts. Oil storage tank, even we say it as a storage tank, which it is actually a storage in which the fluid is being stored for an appropriate time. Okay, suppose I need the fluid to be stored for 6 months or 10 months or even 2 days. So the period which is decided, for that period the fluid will be stored in that tank, and accordingly we can use for our processing, for generation of the pressure. Then when the oil is been processed or is been started to get out of the tank, it comes in contact with the filter. The filter filters the oil which is stored in the oil tank. Okay, then storage tank, then it filters, it completely removes the impurities, because once the impurities is been transferred to the further valves or actuators, it creates some kind of problems for the movement of the actuators and the valve. It creates a blockages for the movement of the actuators and the valves. So instead of making them move further, we prevent the impurities in this initial stage only. Okay, because of which only pure or filtered oil gets moved further. Then once the oil has been passed from the filter, it moves from pump to the control valve. Okay, so pump is actually pressurizes, it creates a pressure in the fluid. Okay, it provides a pressure to the fluid, which actually creates some sort of pressure energy. It gives some kind of pressure energy to the fluid, which is being used by the actuator to convert the pressure energy into some other kind of energies. Okay, so pressure energy is being provided by the pump. Pressure it in short pressurizes the fluid. Okay, it just gives a pressure, it just generates the pressure inside the fluid. Then this pressure is being controlled by the control valve. Means if I require a certain amount of pressure, I will set that pressure inside the control valves, and accordingly that pressure will be maintained throughout the fluid. If suppose the pressure is very high as compared to the required pressure, so many of the times there are chances that a pipe may burst. Okay, the fluid, the pipe which is containing the fluid, pressurized fluid, it bursts because of the heavy pressure which is generated by the pump, and the requirement of the pressure is very low. Okay, so that difference creates a burst or creates a damage to the pump, to the pipe, and hence we required a protective valve over here. Okay, we require a protective valve over here, which actually deports or transfers the extra fluid to the filtered supply line again. Then the control valve connected to the actuator. Actuator is actually a mechanism in which the fluid comes and the actuator converts the pressure energy which is having in the fluid into the mechanical energy which is going to be used further. Okay, it converts the fluid energy or pressure energy in the fluid into the mechanical energy which we are going to use further. Okay, then the remaining fluid is been transferred via oil return line to the storage tank. Okay, this oil is a normal oil which does not have any kind of a pressure energy over there. It is just a flow returned to the storage tank which we are going to use it again. Okay, so general layout of hydraulic system defines the different kind of accessories or the parts which are components which are going to use in a hydraulic system. So if the question is asked in an exam, so we just want to explain the complete layout part by part or the component by component to the examiner in a specific manner. Even the diagram is very important in this question, so we have to by heart the diagram and the function of each and every component of this hydraulic system. Okay, let's move forward. Merits and demerits of hydraulic system. So merits of hydraulic system: generates very high pressure. Okay, hydraulic system generates very high pressure as compared to pneumatic pressure. Pneumatic pressure generates about 10 bar, not more than that. But if it is required the pressure of about more than 10 bars, so we need an option, and that option is hydraulic system. We have to switch to hydraulic system compulsory because the pressure is about 10 bar. Okay, then weight to power ratio is less than electromechanical system. Okay, weight to power ratio means the weight of the hydraulic system is comparatively less as compared to the power which it is going to generate. Okay, it is going to generate about 3 to 4 times, or even some in some machines it is going to generate 5 to 6 times the power as compared to its weight of the system. Okay, it can even lift a machine or an component which is 5 to 6 times of its weight. So it can be easily able to lift that part and move to some other place. Then hydraulic motor can be reversed instantly. Okay, hydraulic motor can be moved in any direction. It is actually a bidirectional motor, so it is very convenient to use hydraulic motor in many of the hydraulic system because it is bidirectional motor and it works instantly. It changes its direction instantly as compared to any other system, pneumatic system or electromechanical system. Over there we have to change the switches, or we have to change give the direction to the specific motor, so that after the initial torque has been given, the direction changes. But over here, hydraulic motor instantly changes its direction without giving any kind of initial torque. Then self-lubricating, yes, self-lubricating because the complete process is hydraulic in system. It consists fluid in it, so it is self-lubricating. It does not. It is when incorrosive, okay, or non-corrosive in nature, because the fluid is completely providing a friction to it. So because of which the oil prevents the corrosion or prevent friction from generation of it. So it actually minimizes the wear and tear of the mechanism. Again, use of flexible connections, correct? Because we are using a fluid, so we need a flexible connections over there. Means hoses or any other kind of pipes we are going to use over there. So because of which it is very easily applicable for the use of hydraulic system. Then talking about demerits of a hydraulic system are: cost of equipment is very high, correct? Because the hydraulic system consists of a fluid which is some sort of fluid which is having cost, and it is completely costly as in nature, because we are going to use some certain kind of oils or certain kind of graded fluids which are actually being used in the system, okay, as per the environment conditions, and even many of the times we are going to use as per the maintenance cost, okay. So it is costly in nature. Then chances of leakages are high, okay. Leakages chances are very high because we are having fluid supply over here. So many of the time the fluid leakages takes place. We have to cover each and every corner of the system, because the leakage, once the leakage has been created, it drops the pressure instantly and exponentially to a certain very low point. So we are required to cover that leakage instantly to get back to the work, okay. So cannot be used in food and pharma industry due to dirty leakages, okay. We cannot use hydraulic system in food and pharma industry, because these two industries are edible products industries, because humans are going to consume those products. So if there is a leakage in the system, there are chances of that fluid gets mixed with the edible products of the industry, and the humans are going to consume that product. So hydraulic system is been completely avoided in food and pharma industry. In cold country, hydraulic oil freezes, so require extra heating equipment. Yes, this is correct. In cold countries, many of the times the hydraulic oils get freezes, so we are going to provide some kind of extra attachments, or even extra some types of mixtures are provided in the oil to prevent the defreezing, or to act as a defreezing member of that system. Then maintenance cost is high, correct. Many of the times we are going to have maintenance, regular checkups, and complete survey of the system, because the leakages are done occasionally. So to prevent that, we are having maintenance checkup periodically, okay. One more point I am going to add over here is the fluid must be non-hazardous in nature, because many of the time when we are going to use hazardous fluid, okay, hazardous fluid, it creates some kind of a hazards to the human being. So it is very important that we are going to use a non-hazardous fluid in this hydraulic system, okay. Thank you. We will continue this lesson in our next lecture.